Alrighty then. Greetings and salutations, people. It's me, Dark Chaotix One, and it's been a little while since I uploaded. The last thing I uploaded was a quick skit of DBF13, and it's time for us to take a break from that and break into something else that I've done. That's right. It's Seeker time. Now, for those of you who don't know, or aren't too into Transformers, Seekers are a group of Decepticons that share a body mold with Starscream, aka the colorful dork right here. So, yeah. I've decided to make a project where I build all of them. And out of the same resources I built, well, all the other things that I've showed up here. So, as you can see, here's the original, the big three. Skywarp, Starscream, and Thundercracker on the side. And since those two are relatively new, we'll start with the first one, which is Starscream, because why not? As you can see, he's got all the G1 colors with a bit of a spice, because instead of the air intakes that would stick up like towers, they've been replaced with tail wings that stick out the back, to reference the Transformers Prime version, which had those tail wings that could move with his bigger wings, or leading wings if you want to call them that. Now, and the posability on this figure is pretty standard. You've got, hold up, you got the foot articulation. You can only go side to side on either side. Leg can go back that far, which I'm no expert on, but I think is over 90 degrees, because usually 90 degrees stop right about here. His waist can spin 180. And his legs have an inside-outside sort of formation. Like, look, hold up, let me get this. His legs can go out that far. They can go in this far. And then you've got your standard forward and back. And then for his arms, the shoulders have been beefed up a lot, because the frame of the shoulders are super thin. But I added these pieces to beef them up, because if they're too small, then that's a problem. But yeah, it can go, the shoulders can go forward and back, and it can go out and in that far. His arm can rotate this far, a whole 180s at this joint right here from the shoulder. And his hand can go forward and stop right here at this angle. Can go back a little bit more, but then it doesn't look too natural. And I know some people won't like that. Same applies to this arm, and his head can go from side to side, and it's got some pieces cut into it that allows him to look up pretty far, not that far, but pretty far, and look down to his cockpit. So hey, that's Starscream in his G1 colors, and they can technically transform, but we'll get to that later. Next up, Thundercracker. So, to differentiate from Starscream, he's in his G1 colors with a twist, as I've added chrome to the shoulders and his feet are all black. But he has similar features with Starscream as all Seekers do, such as the miniature wings in the back of the big wings, and then you've got the bigger shoulders, except this time they're chrome. His arms and hands are black, with the no rays, but that are actually crazy glue bottles, because I'm lazy, somewhat. Same articulation, and yeah, I've painted him with a smugger face, and I didn't point this out. In Starscream, he has more of a, his face technically should be on Thundercracker, but in this terms of the story that I have going on, their roles have swapped somewhat, like a tiny bit. But yeah, he's got the smug face of the backstabber. He was actually the last of the three to be finished. So yeah, that's him. And then we've got, oh, also I forgot to point out, he has a medic symbol on the side of his wings. It's a thing that I've added to that I'm gonna add to Seekers to have like identification of what purpose they serve in the overall Seeker group. So yeah, Thundercracker is the medic of the big three. And then we have Skywarp, the demolitions expert, as evidenced by the miniature grenade or fiery-esque, symbol on his wings. He's also got silver arms like Thundercracker, except they're a bit more, you know, faded, dinky. And he has the purple arms, hands, same null race, same articulation, and he's got that gap tooth smirk going on. So he's still the same prankster characterization as he was in the original G1 cartoon. But yeah, he's got a more inline body. And while those were the only 3 that are done, I do have some other ones on the way. Here is a sneak peek at what will be Thrust. He's basically got the G1's, the basic Seeker layout of the wings on the back protruding out. However, his like rear wings point straight back, not bent a slight way back, straight back. And he's got his thrusters back here. However, they're more jet engines than thrusters. Then we've got Dirge, who's basically the commander of the Coneheads, lieutenant to Starscream, because Seeker hierarchy. And he's got his 2 wings, because in G1, he didn't have rudders, didn't have his rudder tail fin, so he's basically got that layout with a bland back. And here's his back. And then here we have Ramjet. Now, I've done something special with him. As you know, his wings are supposed to be all red with black and white, but I've added some twists to where the wings and his chest now carry more white and red combo. And as you can see, he's the only one of the upcomings that's gonna show the new shoulder. And if you compare all of them to their ancestors in terms of creation, you can see the differences in chests, as their chests are more standard with the air intakes and the cockpit chest. However, their cockpit chest is there, but their air intakes are instead covered up with with pieces that would surround the cockpit of the airplane. Or aircraft, not airplane. Oopsie doopsie. This is me when I don't have enough to drink. Okay. Now I'm going to show you the fun part. I didn't intend for them to actually transform, but they can pull off a Cybertronian jet mode pretty swishous. So, in order to do this, you basically rotate the waist. You rotate the waist all the way around to where the back of the legs are now in the front. You fold these up so they look like this. Then you flip over. You take the arms, rotate them all the way into inverted positions, and put them to the side of the chassis. Repeat the same for the other arm. And after making sure everything is in good place, because this was not intended, you've got a Tetrajet-esque thing. Hold on. Yeah. You've got the null rays becoming the aircraft gunners. And then you've got the back becoming the top. And while technically his head is still visible, I plan on having it so that the head can be... that this part can flip out and cover over where the head would be. And it could do like a headmaster gimmick where the head gets taken off and stored somewhere. But yeah, all of them will share this sort of same alt mode layout. And so you can already imagine how the Coneheads would look with this, or this, or this. But yeah, these are my Seekers, my designs, my creations. I hope you enjoyed, and keep a lookout for any future videos on the Coneheads or other creations. Now, with that being said, have a good September.